Have you ever wondered how strong the Frieza Force is? And I mean actually, how strong they truly are? Because first of all, we have not seen the whole of the Frieza Force during the Namek Saga. I mean, we already knew that even now, 35 years later, we learned about new strong characters that existed back then within the Frieza Force. It's just that Frieza never used them because, come on, he did not predict the outcome of what would unfold during the Namek Saga. So basically, in this video, we will see how strong the Frieza Force truly was during the start of Dragon Ball Z. And for bonus, at the end of the video, we will discuss how strong his force is right now during Dragon Ball Super. So, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to create a list of all the canon combatants in the force that we know of, from weakest to strongest. All the way down at number 19 we got the Frieza soldiers, the generic grunts. These soldiers have power levels ranging from 500 to 1200 and are often used as cannon fodder in battles. While they can fight, they are far below the elite members of Frieza's army in terms of power, but don't let that fool you. A power level of 500 to 1200? Let's dissect that. Master Roshi could blow up the moon. And even if you see that as a gag, Kami with a power level of 320 was able to restore the moon, and Piccolo with a power level of around 400 was able to vaporize it with not as much effort. And all the soldiers of Frieza are above that. All of the thousands to maybe even millions, who knows, are able to casually destroy a moon, aka a small celestial body. Let that shit sink in. So yeah, anyways, at number 17 we have Raditz. Raditz is the first major antagonist of Dragon Ball Z and has a power level of 1500, which puts him on par with the upper tier Frieza soldiers, but still below the elite soldiers. He moved at a minimum light speed, most likely faster, and has the ability to destroy a moon to probably the surface of the planet, just like Manga Boros. Yeah, he is an issue, and we are just at number 17. At number 16 we have subscribe. That's what we have. We have number subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. I would really greatly appreciate that. I'll have a lot of fun content coming up. Anyways, enjoy the video. Nappa. Nappa has a power level of 4000. Nappa is a powerful Saiyan warrior who, alongside Vegeta, is one of the top fighters in the Saiyan army, and they work directly under the Frieza Force, so they are part of the Frieza Force. Despite his impressive strength, he is still weaker than Frieza's elite. Here we are talking about a power that can most likely destroy the planet, a small planet that is, but still a planet. He was able to vaporize a country-sized city with just casually lifting 2 fingers up. Yeah, try to beat that. Now we will talk about some honorable mentions. Shisami and Tagoma. I would have placed them around here. This is how strong I think they are at the time. So number 17 and 18 respectfully. But if I'm not mistaken, they joined the Frieza Force after Frieza's death. So that's why they are honorable mentions. But I also have another honorable mention that I believe is of course stronger than Shisami and Tagoma, and that is Gas. He is part of the Heaters, but they work under Frieza just like the Saiyans. So they could be part of the overall Frieza Force. The reason I put Gas here above Nappa, Shisami and Tagoma is because he was defeated by Bardock, a low class Saiyan, during the flashback. Though he was stronger than him, he just got outperformed by Bardock. After the humiliation, he started training and got very strong during the Granola arc pre his wish to become the strongest. But of course his strength pre-wish was relative to the people at the start of Z. Now, how strong he truly was at the start of Z is impossible to know, but I would put him above Nappa and the others for sure. But higher than that, I'm not fully confident, so keep in mind that he could be placed higher depending on the opinion of people. But for now, he is just an honorable mention because I'm not 100% sure if you can see him as part of the Frieza Force or just like a broker or intermediate person. So yeah, going to number 15. These are a duo actually, so number 15 and 14. We got Abo and Kado. So Abo, like Kado, is a strong soldier, though they might be weaker, likely around the 8 to 9,000 in terms of power level. The reason I put them above Gas is because they were so good that they were even allowed to be in the Ginyu Force, unlike Gas. But then again, Gas could have chosen to stay with the heaters, so yeah, these are interchangeable. But yeah, Abo forms a duo with Kado. The reason why I put them so high up is because in the special OVA, Yo Son Goku and his friends are back, which is canon by the way. They were stated to be around the Ginyu Force level back at that time. But of course, during the special, they were as strong as Frieza because it takes place later. But the reason why I put them at the lowest of the Ginyu Force is because they weren't in the 5 members of the Ginyu Force. Which means they have to be weaker than them because they definitely didn't lack in the charisma part of it, unlike someone else. Spoiler warning. Again, remember guys, I am talking at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z in the timeline, not later. At number 13 we have Gudo. Despite his low power level compared to the other Ginyu Force members, he makes up for it in terms of psychic ability, and his most OP one, Time Freeze. It's just that it takes his breath, so if he just did a little bit more cardio, he would become so OP. But yeah, people are sleeping on Gudo, man. A person with a power level of 10,000. So that means he can destroy planets easily and stop time. Realistically, what are you going to do to him? Nothing. Exactly. Shout out to Gudo, man. At number 12, we have Vegeta. Vegeta has a power level of 18,000 at the start of Dragon Ball Z, and yeah, he would be a crazy strong, formidable opponent. As you guys already know, I don't have to say much about him, but this might be controversial. At number 11, I have Kui, who also has a power level of 18,000. Kui is a formidable elite soldier, having a power level significantly higher than the likes of Raditz and Nappa. He is a rival to Vegeta early in the Namek saga, and I mean his place in this list can be interchangeable with Vegeta, but just because he was so cocky to Vegeta, I think he might have had a slight edge at the start of Dragon Ball Z. Do keep that in mind. But yeah, as I said, it can also be the other way around. Perfectly fine with me. At number 10, we have Dodoria. He has a power level of 22,000. Dodoria is one of Frieza's top fighters, known for his brute strength and violent nature. He is a key figure in Frieza's military, and yeah, he is basically Frieza's delete button. If someone acts up, or if a group acts up, yeah, Frieza just has to press the Dodoria button and he'll wipe them out. At number 9, we have Zarbon. Zarbon has a power level of 23,000. Zarbon is a reliable commander and often seen as Frieza's right-hand man. He is skilled in battle, and his transformation into a monstrous form boosts his power, making him a major threat, and he deserves the number 9 spot on the list. At number 8, we have a person that a lot of you might not know. She is a former member of the Ginyu Force, and her name is Bonyu. She was a powerful fighter who was deemed too serious and independent for the team. Her skills put her on the same level as the Ginyu Force members. The reason she is higher than Abo, Kado and Gudo is because she got basically fired. Not because she was too weak, but too serious. She lacked the charisma other than Abo and Kado, who lacked strength. She is of the same race as Jace, and yeah, she is canon. She was just somewhere else during the Namek saga, and she never left the Frieza Force, just the Ginyu Force, which is part of the Frieza Force at large. At number 7, we have Recoome. Recoome has a power level of around 40,000. He is known for his incredible durability and strength. Despite being defeated by Goku, he was able to put up a tough fight and shows off his raw power and stamina. At number 6, we have Berter, with also a power level of around 40,000. The self-proclaimed fastest being in the universe, Berter's speed makes him a unique and dangerous opponent. While his power is similar to Recoome's, his speed and agility put him ahead of most opponents. At number 5, we have Jace. Jace is a member of the Ginyu Force and one of Frieza's most loyal and powerful soldiers. Though not as fast as Berter or as durable as Recoome, Jace's battle experience and fighting skills make him a formidable opponent in combat, and his speed is relative to Berter, hence why they can combine their moves. and he seems to be the smartest out of the bunch. But of course, number 5, 6, and 7 are interchangeable, however you see fit, because yeah, they're a bit of a gray area who truly is stronger between those 3. At number 4, we have Kado. Kado is the fusion of Abo and Kado, combining their strength to create a fighter even stronger than the likes of the normal Ginyu Force members. His power level is likely around 100,000, making him one of the strongest fighters. But the reason he isn't above Captain Ginyu is because he would likely get a position or even overthrow Captain Ginyu, which never happened. So this is his place at number 4. But it's crazy because Frieza had these behemoths in his force, and if they all were at the Namek Saga, Frieza would have easily won and became immortal. At number 3, we have Captain Ginyu with a power level of 120,000. The leader of the Ginyu Force, Captain Ginyu is known for his ability to switch bodies using his body change technique. His strength is formidable, and his ability to manipulate bodies makes him a tricky opponent. And yeah, someone with a power level of 120,000, by the way. He is easily large planetary in strength, and to have him in your crew, well, it's pretty easy to conquer every planet. At number 2, we have King Cold. King Cold is Frieza's father and a powerful figure in the universe. Though he is not as active as Frieza, his power is formidable, but he tends to be overshadowed by Frieza's immense strength, but not by much. Because King Cold is relative, because the people sensed a power level almost equal to Frieza, and Frieza himself was stronger as Mecha Frieza, though he wasn't at his 100% form, which means Frieza probably had a power level of like 70 million at the time, and King Cold might be around 60 to 70 million, which is, yeah, well into star level in terms of power. But at number 1, we have Frieza with a power level of 120 million at his peak, with his 100% form. Frieza, the universe's most notorious tyrant, is the undisputed strongest member of his army. His power level in his first form alone is enough to put him far ahead of his top subordinates. Frieza's ability to transform into more powerful forms further amplifies his terrifying strength, making him the primary antagonist of the Namek Saga, and the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. You name it, man. He is also in the realm of star to maybe even large star level. So, conclusion, the Frieza Force is highly strong. I mean, duh. But you gotta truly fathom how strong they are. So, after breaking down the Frieza Force from top to bottom, it's clear just how terrifyingly strong this army was, even at the start of Dragon Ball Z. Let's not forget that Frieza never had to use his full army on a single planet because, quite frankly, that would have been overkill. We're talking about an organization where the weakest soldiers, combatant soldiers, are capable of casually blowing up moons, and elite members can easily destroy entire planets without breaking a sweat. If Frieza had unleashed his full army during the Namek Saga, the Z fighters wouldn't have stood a chance. Imagine dozens of warriors like Jace, Berter, and Raccoon descending on a planet simultaneously. That's a planetary annihilation event waiting to happen. Add Captain Ginyu and Kado into the mix, and we're talking about forces that could wipe out entire star systems. And then there's King Cold, someone whose power rivals that of even Mecha Frieza 50%, placing him firmly in the star level category. At the top, of course, stands Frieza himself with a power level reaching 120 million in his final form. If he had mobilized his army at its full potential, the universe as we know it could have been reshaped entirely under his rule. The Frieza Force wasn't just a collection of random fighters, it was a cosmic empire of destruction. They didn't conquer planets, they obliterated them when necessary. This army was the definition of fearsome, and it's no wonder that even decades after the Namek Saga, their reputation still holds weight in the Dragon Ball universe. And as we'll see at the end of the video, Frieza's force has only evolved in strength. And as for the present day Frieza Force, well, we don't know much. We just know the remaining Oil and Maki joined this force, and I'm sure we will get to see new members that are way stronger in the new Frieza force. But even without that, the new Frieza force has become extremely powerful, way more than before. And why, you ask? Just because of Black Frieza, man. Black Frieza himself. He would blink away his previous army, himself included. Damn. But, and as always, keep existing.